Xavia Fox.
Fox show's gonna be on the red carpet doing her Xavia Fox red carpet thing.
Hey, everybody. Yeah! Oh, you can't win if you're not in the game. Give me a beat. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Xavia Fox Talks, and I am still your host, Xavia Fox. Today we are taking No Holds Barred to the next level. We are live and interactive on BlogTalk radio at the same time. So, I'll be able to take callers and get your opinions on the topics that we discussed today. Of course, I have my co-host, Keith KD King, and of course, Mr. Controversial himself, Mr. Jeff Robinson, who actually got lost on the way here, which is interesting because we filmed here the last time. But anyway, since we are live, this is what we have to deal with. And so when Jeff comes in, he's just going to hop right on in and join us. But as for right now, Mr. Keith KD King is in the house. So let me bring him on in. How you doing today?
Well, I'm doing just great. And it's good to be back again. And it's also wonderful to have everyone be able to call in and talk directly to us. So let's get this party going.
All right, we're about to get this party started. We got plenty of folks joining in. Can everybody hear us?
Yes. Gotcha.
What about the other callers? Can you hear me?
Right.
Okay. All right, so we're going to kick this show off today. Of course, this is our first interactive show, and as you viewers on YouTube can hear, everybody's in the house and they're all ready to get their party started. Mr. Jeff Robertson just entered the building. You want to say hi to the people, Jeff?
Hello everybody.
All right.
Had this malfunction with my GPS, but I'm here now.
Don't worry, she already let everybody know.
Yeah,
Okay.
I already told him that you got lost and you've been here before.
Yeah.
But we're going to start off with Keith's topic today. I think we started off with your topic last week because you were the newbie. And since you're no longer the newbie, then we don't have to give you those type of courtesies anymore.
Okay.
The last conversation we had on Facebook was actually Keith's question, and that was quickie every day or making love once a week. Now, I put the little twist in there.
Yeah, you sure did.
But we had quite a few people who responded to the quickie every day or the making love once a week. So now, since I based that on your question, what was your question so we can get that out to the callers so they'll be able to talk about it?
My question was, are quickies better than making love? And do women really care about it? Is it really important to them at all?
Well, whether it's a quickie?
Whether it's a quickie or whether we're making love to them. Because, you know, we can do the quickie. You know, wherever there is, we're capable of doing. But are women are they used to that? Do they want to do that?
Well, I got quite a few. Ooh, that scared us. I got quite a few responses to the question that I asked, and a lot of women are okay with quickies. Matter of fact, the way that the question was phrased, you know, a quickie every day or making love once a week. A lot of women chose to have a quickie every day.
Right.
But then there were a lot of people that were just downright greedy and wanted it every day. Plus, they wanted the making love as well. And one guy said that he wanted the quickie every day, making love once a week, and a steak and blowjob day.
Wow. A steak and blowjob day?
Yeah.
So what day would that be?
I don't know, whatever day. But anyway, so what's your thoughts on it?
Why does that have to be set aside for a day? Why can't a man get that kind of attention whenever?
Well, you know what? I actually twisted the question just to make it active on Facebook. But his real question is, do women really care whether it's a quickie or whether it's making love? Because you know, if you were in a relationship and all you were getting was quickies, would that be enough for you? Just a quickie all the time? Or would you need that making love thing? Now, since we are...
What's the definition of a quickie?
Bang, bang, done.
Well, let's go to our phone lines.
Yeah, let me get some feedback on
And
what is the definition of a quickie.
Let me let everybody in. I have muted everybody. So let me let everybody in. Okay, now we got to go one at a time. So I'm new at this blog talk thing. I don't actually know how to figure out which one of you are talking. So does somebody want to give me their definition of a quickie?
Having a good one at lunchtime.
At lunchtime.
Now,
Is that an hour lunch? Is that an hour lunch, or is it
Hour lunchtime.
Okay, well then, so a quickie. So a quickie is an hour.
Huh?
A quickie is an hour then.
A quickie in an hour, yeah.
to you, it's an hour.
That's why I said you had to define it.
So somebody said a quickie is an hour.
An hour.
That's a long. That's
That's a
a lot.
long time.
That's a lot of quickie.
Yeah.
X and Jeff.
Excuse me?
I said X and Jeff. It's a Tish.
Oh, hi Tish, how are you?
Hi. I'd like to add that my definition of a quickie would be just the actual physical intercourse with no foreplay whatsoever. It doesn't matter what time it is, but whoever has the orgasm first stops, and then it's over. So it could be 5 minutes, 15 minutes. I hardly doubt it would be an hour.
Now,
Yeah, that sounds more like a quickie.
now that's a
Sounds more like a
definition
quickie.
of a quickie.
Of a quickie, yeah.
Exactly.
That does, yeah.
Okay. So on a quickie, that means that only one person gets an orgasm.
Well,
Yeah, you quit.
first one get there first.
Yeah.
So
Potentially, yes.
so a quickie is a race.
No, not a race, but it's just. I guess it is.
Well,
I guess it is.
To me, quickie is it's exciting. You know, it's no, like she said, it's no foreplay. You walk into the room, you see your woman, you see your man, and bam, bend over, lay down, fall down, whatever way you want to do this.
All right then.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Sounds about right.
So I earlier, my guy, my boo, the boo, and we
Hey,
were
quickie?
no.
I thought that's where you were going. I didn't know.
No. The boo and I had a conversation
Conversation.
about what a quickie was or could be.
Okay, and what was that?
Okay, I'm trying to find out who's rustling papers or something over there. We can hear all sounds that is coming out from your area, so if you can make it quiet over there. To me, a quickie is anything. Well, okay. First, I was watching this show the other day. The doctors, I think it was, and they said that the average sex session lasts anywhere from 2 to 7 minutes.
Now, is that a quickie?
That's like
No,
That's
man,
just
That cannot be.
That's not even a quickie, man.
That's not
That's
even.
like a nanosecond, something, what is that, a nanosecond or something?
Now,
That's not
what
a
doctor said this?
it was on the doctors, and actually, it's this lady on there that she studies sex. She's like a sex doctor.
It wasn't Dr. Ruth, was it? Because she was real old.
it wasn't Dr.
She's
Ruth.
dead. She's still alive?
She's still alive.
She's still alive.
She's
She was
still
old
alive.
back in the day.
This was
That she did.
This
to
is
know
actually
about sex.
a young woman, and she said that the average sex is 2 to 7 minutes long. So if you consider the average is 2 to 7 minutes long, when we started looking at quickies,
Who did she ask?
Probably
Yeah,
some
where did
dogs.
she get that from?
Some dogs.
so the
Real dogs. I mean, I
2 to
can
7
see
minutes,
that.
man. No.
You know, 2 to 7 minutes. That ain't no
That's
human.
no time.
That is no human.
That is no time.
I mean, we do have some of those out there.
okay, all right. So for me, I told my boo, I said I think a quickie. Obviously, if 2 to 7 minutes is average, a quickie is anywhere from 2 to 18 or 19 minutes. Because I think anything under 20 minutes is a quickie.
Yeah, don't start at 2 though. That's just
I mean,
too bad.
you know, Janet Jackson talks about a 2-minute brother back in Poetic Justice, so we know they exist.
Yeah, but those guys have some medical issues.
I mean, some can even do like a minute, 30 seconds.
That's
To me, a quickie is anything from 10 to 30 minutes. That's a quickie.
10 to 30 minutes. So 30 minutes is a quickie deal.
It's a quickie.
Okay. That's pretty good, Jeff.
10 to 30.
Taking your vitamins and stuff, huh?
10 to 30 minutes, but you gotta really kind of get
focusing.
Yeah,
How you
yeah.
feeling about your woman?
Yeah, that's true. And then, let's see, I got kids, so you got to get in
What you
where you can
can.
get in where you can. You know what I mean? You got to be creative,
Yeah.
and you got to get sometimes those quickies wherever you can get them. So, it's how it is. I don't like quickies personally. I like to take my time, but
So if you were given the option of quickie every day or making love once a week, you can't have both. Which one would you choose?
Now remember what you just said. Quickie every day, which in your version of a quickie is 30 minutes.
I'd rather, oh yeah, well yeah. Quickie every day. Quickie every day. Every day.
And so
30 minutes. I can do 30 minutes a day.
So given what would you like, a quickie every day or making love once a week?
Well, see, with me, I don't know if I can deal with that quickie every day, which would be 30 minutes.
So
me,
you
I
define
want to
a quickie
make
as 30 minutes too?
Yeah, I mean, if you go, where you do have those where you bam and get on up, you know what I'm saying? That happens, and then come back. But to say what I would want, I would like to make love to my woman. For one thing, you letting your woman know how you feel about her, and if it happens to be every day, then every day make love to your woman every day.
Well,
Because there's no time limit when you're making love to your
right.
Oh,
There's
wait,
no
you
time.
forgot one thing.
What's that?
What about that visitor that comes once a month? How does that work? So you miss a week.
That's a hand
I think you
job.
miss a week.
Hand job.
You miss. Well, that's not sex then.
Well, what are you gonna do? You brought up the.
I'm just saying, does that week count? Because you miss a week, right?
Yeah. You miss a
That's
week.
3 weeks. That's what is it? 5 days? Is it 4, 3, 5 days?
I don't know anything about
Oh, okay. Well, 3 to 5 days. So you're gonna miss a week in there. So what do you do?
Well, that's when your woman pleases you in the way that you want to be pleased. I was on my way home from work one day on the highway, and I saw a young man getting a head job driving.
Yeah.
So, hey,
Wait. First of all, do all the ladies wait that week? Because some women like to have sex during that time.
I guess that's pretty much on the woman then.
Yeah, so I guess it could still be, but I
I'm
don't
just
know.
staying out of this whole conversation here.
Since we're going down that street, I think you have to take all of that under consideration.
Right.
Some women they want it more than. So
My boo told me that all my business don't need to be out there.
Why don't you ask one of the callers?
yeah, let's ask one of the callers.
So do I have any lady callers? So around that week, he's talking about when, our
That
visitor visits. Do we crave it more? And do you participate, or what do you do to satisfy your mate during that time?
Well, this is Denise. I don't crave it more. My cravings come in pretty much afterwards. And there's other ways you can satisfy him other than the penetration portion of it. But for me, my highest peak is after.
Okay. And mine, actually, during is just like ridiculous for me. So it's
Ridiculously low or ridiculously
high.
Oh, okay. See, so she's
Anything
one.
about that?
See, she's one.
I don't know if it just don't never stop. I just, I don't know.
See.
But anyway, my boo said
knew
not
it.
to put all my business out
I got you. All right.
So we started this off on a nice lighthearted topic with Keith. Keith liked to bring some giggles and stuff to the show. But now I want to touch on something that's a little bit deeper. And I hope that you callers will definitely participate in this, because Jeff wanted to talk about women's values nowadays. We know that a lot has changed from, back in the day as far as, women and their sexuality and just, their morals and values in general. We now have the dips and the jump offs and the thises and the that's and the booty calls and all that other kind of stuff. And there's no longer a stigma per se attached to being that. So Jeff, why don't you go ahead and talk about your...
There seems to be a new thought going on amongst women right now that makes them a lot more freer and open sexually. They talk a lot more about what they do. They are not as modest as they used to be. They speak on being a dip or sharing a man openly. So, I mean, what's up with that?
Well, I think women are getting more liberal now. Probably for sheltered, and then there was a stigma about the role we're supposed to play in a relationship or in the household, and I don't think that the stigma no longer applies to us. Just as with men are free to express what they like sexually and physically, and we're just now catching up. What we were taught to keep in the back or in the shadow of the man, we're now coming to the forefront and making it known what our desires are, what we like, and our intentions. And if it's just a booty call, because women are no longer considered booty calls anymore, men are now booty calls. Just, as a way that men used to use women, well, ma'am, thank you, ma'am. Well, now, well, ma'am, thank you, sir. Appreciate you for your services. Holler at you next time. So it's not like we just have to have a man. So many women are doing their own things now, and not being so much focused on having a relationship more so than being happy. And for some women, being in a relationship isn't their ultimate goal. They'll have other goals other than a relationship, and some of those goals, that's self-gratification, but sometimes you gotta feel a heartbeat and feel some hot breath and some nasty words going on, but it's not just that stream of, barefoot and pregnant or have to be in a relationship. Now it's like, you coming with it, now we're finally catching up, and now we're coming with it.
That type of woman you describe, how many, out of 10 women, how many would that be?
And are you included in that type
of what?
Out of every 10 women, how many of those women have that perception that you just described?
I would say out of 10 women that I know personally, about 50%.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
So now, would you say that having that kind of approach to dating and sex is healthy for the woman?
Well, it's no more healthy for the woman than it is for the man. I mean, that behavior is no more tolerated by men than it is women. It's just that everybody has their own opinions and how they feel towards relationships.
So,
anything, it's no more healthier than having unprotected sex. It is what it is. Some ideals are not the same anymore. It's just not the same anymore. And with times change, people change, and women have changed.
Do you think that's been better? Do you think it's made things better or worse?
Thank you.
I can't really say if it's better or for worse because it depends on the individual. It may be better for her, it may be worse for her, depending on what the situation is. But what I'm saying is that with some women are no longer focusing on that will his knee syndrome. He did this, he did that. It's like that. The mentality of women have changed. We're not that slow or that passive anymore.
So what you're saying, caller, is that women are enjoying themselves just the way men enjoyed themselves back when we were doing it, and doing it to you ladies.
No, what I'm saying is that we're finally coming around. We're catching up.
Oh, we catching up.
So you're not enjoying yourself in the process of catching up?
It depends. It depends. It depends on the woman's mental state of mind. There could be several reasons as to why her behavior is like that.
Right.
You have some women that have been sexually abusive, that's all they know. You have some women that have been hurt by so many men that just have totally given up on relationships, and that's all she's really focusing on. And then you have women who are just settling their ways and don't really want a relationship for any unadulterated reason, just because she doesn't want to have a relationship but miss the sexual part of a relationship.
So what do you think the reason was when we were doing it? Is it because we were hurt so many times? Because, you know, we were hurt just the same as women were hurt too.
Yeah, but it's different. You know, the behavior of men is more excusable and tolerable than it is for a woman. A man can have 1 or 2, 2 or 3 or 4 women, and it's just a man being a man. But if a woman do that, she's being entitled or whole. But a man is just as much of a man can be just as much of a whole as a woman can.
I agree with that. But for years, men are wired a certain way sexually. And I've always thought that women were wired a certain way also. I always thought that women were more emotional than sexual.
And we are, because sometimes we equate, you know, sex with being in love or being in a relationship. That's another point. Is this Jeff I'm speaking to?
Yes.
Okay, that brings up another point. In the past, in our 20s, and sometimes our early 30s, and even sometimes now in 40s, most women have equated sex with relationships. But the man on the other hand just look at it as being sex. Just, you know, it's just plain old sex, nothing more, nothing less. But now it's not like that. Now it's like, okay, it's done. I'm not expecting anything. If you call, you call. If you don't, you don't. You know, ain't no love lost. Just keep it moving. If some does catch another. So it's not like we're having this emotional pity party, if you will.
No, I understand. But what I'm asking is for a woman to basically not be in a relationship and just have wham, bam, thank you, sir, sex with a guy. Guy comes over. You all have sex, he cleans up and leaves. I mean, wouldn't a woman want more than that?
He cleans up, she walks him to the door, and then he leaves.
Well, let me ask you this, caller. If you want to remain anonymous. Denise, okay. I knew who you were, I just didn't know if you wanted to remain anonymous or not. Let me ask you this. So, you know, me and my talks on Facebook about relationships, and you and I have had some conversations as well. But my question for you is, okay, there's fewer women getting married, and also there's more women saying that they can't get these men to commit, and there's women that, you know, desire relationships, and they're having a problem. Now, no, we don't have a sisterhood. I mean, everybody has brought me back to reality that there's no sisterhood, and there's not going to be a sisterhood, so I need to stop talking about the sisterhood. Yeah. But do you think possibly that the reason that women, some women who do desire relationships can't get a man to commit is because the man can go anywhere and get sex so easily and freely from women who are just giving it up for, like you said, many different reasons, but some simply because they've been hurt or whatever, and so now they have a guard up, so they don't want to make themselves vulnerable anymore, so they just having, you know, sex saying that they're not attached, because we both and all know that there are women who say, oh yeah, I can do this, you know, no commitment, nothing, it's just sex and whatever. But then in the end, those same women are the ones that, you know, wind up being the stalkers because they really did develop feelings and emotions and hope that it would turn into something else. So do you think that we are, you know, cutting off our own foot and doing this whole dip booty call thing?
No, I just think that the standards have changed. I think that women have changed their standards. It's no longer more about him, but about what she wants or what she desires or what she's looking for in a mate. So I don't think that. I think in the past it has been, you know, the Betty White syndrome. A half a man is better than no man, but now it's Tyrone Davis syndrome. I can do bad by myself, you know, and so so many women are really rethinking the whole situation about it. Because, you know, you think about it. If you were involved with somebody and they cheated on you, you know, you cry, you whine, you fuss, you cuss. But then you still with that man. But now since the whole, your STDs is wilding out now, you know, it's more so, this ain't happened to me. You're not bringing this mess home to me. And so the mentality, I think, is changing. I think the mentality of women is changing because, you know, I think we're more so paying attention to the red flags that we see, the flashing lights, the yellow caution lights, you know, everything that, you know, that we have not been taught by parents, depending on what area you were raised in. We're now seeing that in this new age. You know, women are holding it down now. You know, we're raising families. We're working our own jobs. We're making our own money. So even in career, you think in terms of your relationship. You treat your relationship sort of like your career. You approach with caution. You know what you want to do. You know how you want to do it. You know what you need to get there. So if it's somebody that's going to be a hindrance to you, then why deal with it?
But so that means that this particular woman that you speak of just kind of settles for these liaisons with different men every now and then, these sexual liaisons or sexual encounters, and that's it. She doesn't want anything else.
Some women are like that. Some women don't want anything else but that.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
I said some women are like that. Some women don't want anything but that.
Okay.
They will let you know.
Okay, so...
And speaking of, to bring up another point,
and I love the controversy. Whenever I start talking, it just set people off.